Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. Don't you ask what time of the day it is, because I do know what time of day it is. It's only 1:37 in the morning, and since I'm up and I can't do anything else, I may as well come on out here and um, and read for you the scriptures, because y'all need the scriptures. Oh my God! You all need the scriptures. So we are going to continue with the reading of the Bible. We are currently onto the book of Ezekiel. So for those of you who are interested in getting familiar with the contents of the Bible, you are in the right place actually, because we read the Bible here and we just uh, try to understand it on our own terms, with additional literature, of course, whenever we can find it. But this is the place to be if that's what you want to do. There's no preaching, there's no endorsement of any particular religion or denomination. It's just me and you, right? Reading for ourselves, familiarizing ourselves with the contents of the Bible and trying to understand it for ourselves. And sometimes when we think we understand something, we have to go back and read it again and and seek additional information on it, and sometimes seek counsel too on it before we can be definite about what the meaning of the phrase, the term, the or the verse really means. And even so, sometimes we still don't know. But we just hope and pray that as we move along, we might find some additional clarification for whatever we have stumbled upon. We will find clarification for it later on. Okay, over time, I've been asking myself the same question for the last 2 hours. Why am I not sleeping? So I just decided, you know what? Rather than lay here, turn to the right and turn to the left, turn to the right again and turn back to the left, and keep asking myself the same redundant question, Trev, why you not sleeping? Why you not sleeping? I just say, so let me get up and read the Bible. Maybe that's why I'm not sleeping. Maybe that's why I'm not sleeping, because I need to get up and read the Bible. I just said, you know what? Let's just get it done rather than laying here tossing and turning and wasting time. Okay, so that's why I'm not sleeping, my brother. That's why I am not sleeping. So I am here. I am up at this time of the day, just waiting and hoping that more of you will show up. And as soon as I say more of you will show up, here comes my darling Sister Arlise. Sister Arlise, how you doing, my love? So good to see you, my darling. So good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming as always. What y'all doing up this time of the morning? So you see, now I know what time of the morning to catch y'all, huh? Is y'all be up at this time of the morning when normally I'll be asleep or at work, and here you all are at this time of the morning. But welcome, 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 Sister Arlise. No, so that's not Fly Girl. Is that my sister Fly Girl? Fly Girl, what's up? Fly Girl, what's up with you, my love? How are you doing? So good to see you. Happy Tuesday morning to you, my dear. How are you doing? How are you feeling? I want to overturn, man. You need a good man in the bed with you so you can't sleep. At that the time, you wouldn't sleep. At that the time, I wouldn't sleep. I really said I was in the kitchen until late, child. I knew I was going to be in the kitchen. I was in the kitchen the whole weekend. The whole weekend. And then yesterday, I said, you know what? I have to go to work. I have to go to work. So if I go to work, I'm not going to be able I get out the people them things in time. So you know what that mean. Overtime, they say, brother, me never realize I miss the call. Me never realize I miss the call. So we have to go talk. Because you see like how you come that way, yeah? You see like how you come that way, yeah? That sound like a good deal compared to the mailing deal. But we are gonna talk. We are gonna talk privately. We are gonna talk privately. Yeah. Cause Jesus, my God, didn't realize how mailing gone up. Eh? Overtime, overtime. I get ready for work. Oh, okay. Me I go get ready too, but me not get up until maybe like 5:30 or so. Yeah, I take me about an hour to get ready, and then I'll be out the door. But yeah, Flaggers, I was just getting ready to sleep, and I realized you're on. Maybe we should have come on from when we just wake up from little bit before midnight. But anyway, I'm up. I'm just gonna knock this out, get this out of the way, and then see if I can get some other things done before I chip out of here in this morning here. Yes, guys. So welcome into the live. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for stopping by. We are going to be reading today the book of Ezekiel. We are on Ezekiel chapter 10. Oh yes, Sister Aurelis. I tell you, I can't incorporate. I'm sorry, I had to tell people I cannot incorporate the mailing fees into the pricing because it just seems to me just so unreasonable. Me don't know. I'm a different kind of person. It is too much. It is too much. Too much. I'd gone to send a package. I'd gone to send a package, $160 cake. $160 cake. And I was being charged $26 to send the $160 cake. I'm going to call the customer. I'm going to say, you want the cake? You're going to pay just about $30 for shipping. She said, $30? I say, yeah, $30. Because, see there? At $26 send a $160 cake. She says, send it anywhere. She sent me the $90. I said, mighty God, look at that. It just, yeah, it just too much. It just too much. And not everybody is willing. Not everybody wants to deal with people that, oh, you not have free shipping. Free shipping? Free what kind of shipping you talking about? Exactly. You're gonna be at a loss if you incorporate that, because then we'd have to go say $100 for the cake. Like $100. Yeah, to me, I feel like no. Mm-mm. 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 And that is why me not be a can put down. No, I'm not be a camp down. You call me and you order your cake and I bake your cake and I make you know this is the deal, this is the deal. You send me the money, I bake the cake and I send it come for you. Yeah, because it's too much. Mister one little 9-inch cake and a $90, $100 for it. I mean, it is what it is, but mm-mm. You say you charge $80 for shipping. You see that? I'm say, and especially for sending out every year, I always send one cake or two go to my son in Canada. Me tell him say, you better come and make me show you if you go make your one cake here, because the money here, and the way things expensive these days, I cannot eat the cost of shipping. I can't do it. Too much. It is too much. The only thing that I have to do is put the cake, make the cake them smaller. Make the cake them smaller so them fit in a smaller box. Because if you go by weight, it's more expensive. So I just use the flat rate boxes. The sugar is for, yes. I went to Walmart to go get sugar, and it was $3 for the 2 pound, and it's not even dark brown sugar. It is like a light brown sugar, and it was $3 for the 2 pound, and I had to buy white sugar, and the white sugar was, let's say, $8 or $7 and something. So let's say $8 for the little 5 pound pack of sugar. And I was just like, what in the world? The little bag of flour that used to be, it's been $1.77 for the longest time. It's now $3.43. So everything is so expensive, man. Yeah. But we do what we must. We do what we must. All right. So this morning here now, gentle people, we are going to be reading our Bible. So come along with me, gentle people. Get your book Bible or Google Bible and let us read. But before we move any further, y'all remember a couple days ago when we started reading. Alright, so by the time you take out your time and you cost nothing left. Exactly. Not all no left. So yeah, that is the truth. Nothing left. You just like, it just coming like charitable work. And it takes time, and fruits and everything expensive. Me can't. Yeah. Look at me, I forgot to start selling cake them by the slice. Look at me, I forgot to start selling them by the slice, because I might end up doing better with a slice than a whole cake. Trust me. But oh well, we gotta do what we gotta do. It's as simple as that. A little aluminum pan them. Me don't know if I get them, can't get them or whatever. Cause from when my order the aluminum pan them with the lid, them send me some pan, them not have no lid. Them not even cardboard lid, no lid. I'm not a fan of the cardboard lids. But if I want them send me, I prefer the plastic lids. Me say, me get one whole pack yesterday, day before, whenever. No lid. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with it without lid? what me supposed to do? Me supposed to like just wrap it up in a plastic. I mean, yeah, I understand too that people don't understand, but I understand. But you know how it goes. You know how it goes sometimes. But it is what it is. Yeah. But anyway, we're gonna move on to where we read about the Bible this morning. Yeah, remember a few days ago when um we read Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 11 to 13, where um Ezekiel said God told him, and thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that comes out of man in their sight. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, where I will drive them. So because I've revisited this, I revisited these verses over and over because I just wanted to understand exactly what Ezekiel meant by saying the Lord told him and to bake the barley cakes with the dung of man. And as I was talking, as I was discussing it with God, we came up with the conclusion that chances are he probably wrote it in such an ambiguous way that it could come off as though he baked the cakes with the dung, but it probably meant that they were using the dung to make the fire to bake the cakes. And I thought that sounded a little bit more plausible. I would want to believe that more than I want to believe that the Lord would tell him to put the dung in the cake. So we have settled on that because we know that animal dung is used a lot of times to make fire. Back in the country, when we were in the country, we used to go to the pastures and collect the dry cow dung, put it in a paint pan in any kind of metal container and light it, and that would be our mosquito repellent. So I'm not surprised that the animal dung is being used to make fire. But I was just a little bit taken aback when I read that he said he would use the dung that comes out of man. I don't know why that is even written there, because the dung out of man is what are you going to do with it? I know them using the dung from man to make fire. So there is still an air of confusion right there as to what the dung of man got to do with anything. And it does seem like some kind of an insult. It does seem like some kind of insult, some kind of belittling, degrading behavior, because he further says, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread. So that's a way of insulting them, because that bread would definitely be defiled if you cook it on a fire that's made from doo-doo. Yeah. So it because he went on to clarify it by making that statement that to make them eat this their defiled bread among the Gentiles. That tells me right there that that was an intent to insult them and to belittle them to the lowest. Arlie said it worked like gasoline, I guess. Whether I will drive them. Then said I, O Lord God, behold, my soul hath not been polluted. For from my youth up even till now have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or is torn in pieces, neither came from abominable flesh into my mouth. So we have settled. I think we have settled that score to say that Ezekiel was using the dung of the animals to make the fire on which he was cooking, making the bread for the children of Israel. It still has a little bit of shade over it, but I figured as we continue to read, we might find some additional clarification on it. So we are going to continue reading. We are going to read Ezekiel chapters 10 and 11 this morning before I take another nap and then wake up to go where you know where. Ezekiel chapter 10 says, Then I looked, and behold, in the firmament that was above the head of the cherubims, there appeared over them, as it were, a sapphire stone, as the appearance of the likeness of a throne. And he spake unto the man clothed with linen, and said, Go in between the wheels, even under the cherub, and fill thine hand with coals of fire from between the cherubims, and scatter them over the city. And he went in my sight. Now the cherubims stood on the right side of the house when the man went in, and the cloud filled the inner court. Then the glory of the Lord went up from the cherub, and stood over the threshold of the house. And the house was filled with the cloud, and the court was full of the brightness of the Lord's glory. And the sound of the cherubim's wings was heard even to the outer court, as the voice of the Almighty God when he speaketh. And it came to pass that when he had commanded the man clothed with linen, saying, Take fire from between the wheels, from between the cherubims, then he went in and stood beside the wheels. And one cherub stretched forth his hand from between the cherubims unto the fire that was between the cherubims, and took therefore and put it into the hands of him that was clothed with linen, and took it, and went out. And there appeared in the cherubims the form of a man's hand under their wings. And when I looked, behold, the four wheels of the cherubims, one wheel by one cherub, and another wheel by another cherub. And the appearance of the wheels was as the color of a beryl stone. And as for their appearances, they four had one likeness, as if a wheel had been in the midst of a wheel. When they went upon their four sides. They turned not as they went, but to the place whither the head looked, they followed it. They turned not as they went. And their whole body, and their backs, and their hands, and their wings, and the wheels were full of eyes round about, even the wheels that they four had. As for the wheels, it was cried unto them in my hearing, O wheel. Let's read that again. As for the wheels, it was cried unto them in my hearing, O wheel. That need to sound grammatically correct. Not literally correct, but we're going to continue. And everyone had 4 faces. Now remember, these are the things that Ezekiel said he saw when he looked up in the sky. You remember he said he saw those 4 creatures with wings and the 4 faces and all that. And everyone had 4 faces. The first face was the face of a cherub, and the second face was the face of a man, and the third face was the face of a lion, and the fourth face was the face of an eagle. And the cherubims were lifted up. This is the living creature that I saw by the river of Chebar. Now remember, he was at the river of Chebar when he had that vision. And when the cherubims went, the wheels went by them. And when the cherubims lifted up their wings to mount up from the earth, the same wheels also turned not from beside them. When they stood, these stood, and when they were lifted up, these lifted up themselves also. For the spirit of the living creature was in them. Then the glory of the Lord departed from off the threshold of the house, and stood over the cherubims. And the cherubims lifted up their wings, and mounted up from the earth in my sight. When they went out, the wheels also were beside them, and everyone stood at the door of the east gate of the Lord's house. And the glory of the God of Israel was over them above. This is the living creature that I saw under the God of Israel by the river of Chebar, and I knew that they were the cherubims. Everyone had 4 faces each, and everyone had 4 wings, and the likeness of the hands of a man was under their wings. Verse 22. And the likeness of their faces was the same faces which I saw by the river of Chebar. Their appearances and themselves, they went everyone straight forward. So remember when Ezekiel was at the river, at the river of Chebar, he had claimed to have had that vision, seeing those 4 creatures coming out of the sky. I get the feeling that because Ezekiel was in captivity and was thinking and dreaming of a way to get out of captivity, a way for his God to deliver him, he was having these weird visions. Because I still don't understand what's the religious significance of having a vision like that? What's the religious significance of having a vision where you see this kind of creature, these kinds of creatures? What was he supposed to do with that vision? What were those 4 creatures supposed to represent? Well, we don't know. But we're going to continue reading Ezekiel chapter 11, and maybe we will find out. Chapter 11 says, Moreover, the Spirit lifted me up and brought me unto the east gate of the Lord's house. which which looked eastward, and behold, at the door of the gate 25 men. 25 men, among whom I saw Jazaniah the son of Azur, and Pelatiah the son of Benaiah, princes of the people. Then said he unto me, Son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give wicked counsel in the city. Which men, he says? Jaazaniah and Pelatiah. All right, he said the Spirit told him that these are the men who are causing mischief in the city. Verse 3 says, which say, it is not near. Let us build houses. This city is the cauldron, and we be the flesh. Therefore, prophesy against them. Prophesy, O Son of Man. So here him saying, no, this is the Lord. Him said, tell him now, not to prophesy now against these people. Okay. And the Spirit of the Lord fell upon me, and said unto me, Speak, thus saith the Lord. Thus have ye said, O house of Israel, for I know the things that came into your mind, every one of them. Ye have multiplied your slain in this city, and ye have filled the streets thereof with the slain. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, your slain, whom ye have laid in the midst of it, they are the flesh, and this city is the cauldron. But I will bring you forth out of the midst of it. Ye have feared the sword, and I will bring a sword upon you, saith the Lord God. And I will bring you out of the midst thereof, and deliver you into the hands of strangers, and will execute judgments against you. He shall fall by the sword. I will judge you in the border of Israel. And he shall know that I am the Lord. This city shall not be your cauldron, neither shall he be the flesh in the midst thereof, but I will judge you in the border of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord. For ye have not walked in my statutes, neither executed my judgments, but have done after the manners of the heathen that are round about you. And it came to pass, when I prophesied, that Pelatiah the son of Benaiah died. Then fell I down upon my face, and cried with a loud voice, and said, Ah, Lord God, wilt thou make a full end of the remnant of Israel? Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred, and all the house of Israel holy, are they unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said, Get you far from the Lord. Unto us is this land given in possession. Let's read verse 15 again. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred, and all the house of Israel holy, are they unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said, Get us far from the Lord. Unto us is this land given in possession. Therefore say, Thus saith the Lord God, Although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. And guys, that is one thing that I do not understand. I really don't understand why the conflicting presentation of God among the Jewish people. If this is the land that the Lord has given to them for generations and generations, why is it that they are being so frequently displaced? They are frequently taken into bondage. They are like scattered all over. So it's almost like they don't have an abiding city. It's so conflicting, because if this is the place that you have given to us, why are you scattering us all over the place and then saying that you will still be with us wherever we are? There is no cohesion there. We are not together. We are not able to fulfill the promises that you have been making to us. How are we going to, when there is no cohesion? We scattered all over the place. How are we going to have the movement where everybody is together, working together for the continued building of Israel and the maintenance? We can't maintain it so if everybody is all over the place. So this to me just seems like it justifies what I had said before, that I believe these people who were calling themselves prophets and claiming that God had told them X, Y, and Z were really working against Israel. That's just how I feel. Because don't tell me that nobody could look at this and say, you know what, this doesn't sound right. There's no togetherness here. We can't grow like this. We can't dominate like this. We are being told that we are the chosen people and we are going to have dominion over, and we are going to be wealthy, and all of this land is ours. So if all of this land is ours and this is where we are supposed to establish ourselves and maintain our dominance, why at the same time are these prophets saying the Lord has told them the Jewish people should be scattered all over, scattered? It don't make no sense. They're like rolling stone that gather no mass. Exactly, Early. It's like rolling stone that gather no mass. So tell me, how is that supposed to build growth? How is it? Guys, I don't know. I don't know, because everything is just conflicting here. Because if you tell me that Joe Biden is supposed to lead America and build America, and Joe Biden says God telling him that everybody who live in Florida is supposed to move back to the country where they came from, and everybody in Idaho, he has chosen a place in Germany where they should all go, and then everybody in New York, he has chosen a place in Africa where they should all go, and everybody in California, he has chosen a place in South America where they should all go. And he claims that the Lord tell him this. How is it going to continue to be the United States of America when everybody is gone elsewhere? There's no cohesion. There's no togetherness. They can't grow like that. And this is why they continued to be overpowered by the others around them. That is why they ended up, losing all their land, and now gotta be fighting like crazy to even get back their land, because their prophets betrayed them from the beginning, saying God told them. Hey, God no tell them nothing, because that just doesn't seem sensible. And here is Ezekiel again, and God tell him this, and God says he's still gonna be with them in the countries where they are. Like, how much better would it be for their God to be among them in the land that he claimed to have given them, where they can all continue to multiply and grow? Wouldn't it be better there than to have them scattered all over the place, and then to tell them, don't worry, I'm going to scatter you, but I'm going to be with you? But at the same time, the Jewish movement, the Israeli movement isn't growing because people are scattered all over the place. That part, my friends, don't make too much sense to me. But I'm going to continue reading. Verse 17 says, therefore say, thus saith the Lord God, I will even gather you from the people, and assemble you out of the countries where ye have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel. And they shall come thither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof, and all the abominations thereof from thence. And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you. And I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and will give them a heart of flesh, that they may walk in my statutes, and keep my ordinances, and do them. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God. Watch a Winsome to Trev you up early. Mr. Winsome, I drop asleep early, and then I wake up a little bit before 12. I wake up 10 o'clock, I go back to sleep. Come here, I say, yeah, 10 o'clock. I'm going to go back to sleep. I wake up a little bit before 12. Couldn't go back to sleep. I just say, all right. When I see it come to almost 2 o'clock, I just say, okay, I just go and read. But when some says after 2, yes, my love, is after 2. It's after 2, Sister Winsome. But I go read, and yeah, me feel awake. So I just get up and go do all what I have to do before I go to work. But me there, Ezekiel chapter 11 and verse 20. That they may walk in my statutes, and keep my ordinances, and do them. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God. Winsome, you have to just do what you have to do here. I just saw me see it. You have to just do what you have to do. Sleep, wake up, do some more. If you want to sleep again, and get up and do some more. Just that me have to do. But as for them whose heart walks after the heart of their detestable things and their abominations, I will recompense their way upon their own heads, said the Lord God. Then did the cherubims lift up their wings, and the wheels beside them, and the glory of the God of Israel was over them above. And the glory of the Lord went up from the midst of the city, and stood upon the mountains which is on the east side of the city. Afterwards the Spirit took me up, and brought me in a vision by the Spirit of God into Chaldea, to them of the captivity. So the vision that I had seen went up from me. Verse 25, and this is the last verse. Then I spake unto them of the captivity all the things that the Lord had shown me. Okay. So here Ezekiel is saying, this was his vision. He saw in his vision, he saw these four creatures with the four faces and the wings and the wheels and all of that. And I don't know. I don't know if I should say that these visions, what's the interpretation of these visions of these creatures? I wish there was some kind of an interpretation for these creatures that he said he saw. What did they really mean? Because the way he wrote it is as though these creatures were sent by God. But what would be the significance if these creatures were sent by God? What would be the significance of God sending these creatures with four heads and four set of wings and a man's hand sticking out from under the wings and the wheels and the feet? And that sounds like the stuff of nightmares. Yeah, that sounds like the stuff of nightmares. Like, sometimes our imagination can cause us to see things that that's not there. Yeah, you can, our imagination, and you see where these people, especially the prophets were so desperate to be different. They were so desperate to be considered of utmost importance among the people that each one of them wanted to come with their version of prophecy that would leave the children of Israel in such awe that they would believe them. We saw Jeremiah came with his brand. Now Ezekiel has come with his brand of prophecy that is supposed to leave the people in such awe that they don't ask any question. They think that yes, he has come with something different, something more sensational. So he got to be the real deal. And I still don't understand what's the significance of these creatures that he claims to see coming out of the clouds. What was their purpose? Was their God sending messages with these kinds of creatures? I don't know. I don't know. Admittedly, I don't know. Sister Fly Girl Georgia, have yourself a great day, my friend, and sleep well, sister. Okay? And I will see you later or tomorrow. Whichever one of these days. Yeah, like what was these dreams supposed to be? And how comes only these individuals were able to talk to God? You notice that it's always somebody who declared themselves a prophet was able to talk to their God. And the people consulted with the prophets each time they wanted an answer from their God. And to me, this just seems like some kind of a brainwashing. That's what it appears to be to me. Because if this is the God of Israel, why can't the people talk to him for themselves? Why he has to talk to only the prophet, and the prophet tell the people what he says? Why he can't talk to these people by himself? So there is room for the prophets to embellish stuff, to fabricate stuff, and just to create their own imaginary reality. That sounds like an oxy right there. An imaginary reality. If it's imaginary, it's not real. But that you all understand what I mean. It leaves room for them to create. So because if I say I am a prophet and I can talk to God for you, and you come to me and you say, Trev, ask God for me. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen with me when I go to New York tomorrow? And I claim to go to God. And I'm not afraid I am no more. I'm not afraid I'm not afraid that Joe wins some. So imagine now you tell me, say, Trev, since you are the prophet, you can talk to God. Go ask God what will happen to me if I go to New York tomorrow. And me come out of your presence and claim to me go talk to God. And miss in my heart, me say, no, so I don't want win some for God New York tomorrow. Me no want win some for God New York tomorrow. No, cause me know say if she go New York, if she go New York tomorrow, she not go have enough money, and she go probably ask me for some money. And boy, me not have it. So me no want her for go. Or something to that nature. You know, me could just tell when some for God say she not for go. And then me come back and me say to win some say, I spoke to God and God tell me say you mustn't go because if you go, there's going to be a storm and you'll get caught in the storm. And there is too much room for doubt for me to take these things as any kind of gospel. There's too much room for error. Arlie said to take off, and of course, to take off and to add whatever it is. You understand? And if only them can come back and tell you what God say, who says that is true? That is my question. Because I don't believe these men were who they say they were. I mean, also people are gonna say, oh, they were called by God because God called them. Say God called them. You know how much people right now I say God called them. But how are we going to know who was called and who was not? And what evidence, what proof are we going to go by to say this person was called? It's absolutely ridiculous. When some say, so if God tell him no, I know, but who said God tell him anything? Remember, all these people. My question is, why, if God is coming to these people, talking to these people, how comes nobody else not hear the conversations? And nobody else not see this God that these people say them seeing? I don't believe them. I don't believe them. I mean, I don't know if you agree with me, but I'm telling you, I don't believe them. First of all, they are not all saying the same thing. Everybody are coming for them own version. And I guess this is why there are so many denominations even in the one religion of Christianity. This is the same thing right here. Because in the Bible, all of these men who were writing were Jewish men, and they claim to have been somehow ordained by God to be prophets, and that they can communicate with him to tell the Jewish people what to do and what he wants them to do. But everybody's coming with them to their own version. And this is probably what laid the foundation for Christianity to have so many denominations, because everybody want to say what they what God told them, and everybody wants to stand out, and everybody wants to be different. So everybody invent their own version of God's plan for the Israelites. That is my view, and I'm sticking to it. Trev, in this time you can hear from God, but others don't hear. Maybe that did a one. But when some, if you tell me, say God tell you something, I don't have to believe you. I don't have to believe you that God tell you something. Because why would I tell you something but him not tell nobody else? And with you being the only person to say that he tells you something, that leaves a room, a big room for doubt. Because me can't get up and tell you, say, when some, you know, say God tell me XYZ. How you gonna know say that true? You're not gonna, there's no way for you to tell. Because it's me against you. And you never hear it. So me can't say him tell me just about anything. But when I'm telling you, the things that the people are saying that God tell them, these things are not in alignment with what, say, a previous prophet would have said. The Lord told them. Moses said God tell him the children of Israel, if you lead them, Abraham, Jacob say they are going to multiply, they're going to have, land and power and influence, and the number of them going to be so much that nobody will be able to count them. And after that, you notice that they were, during the time of Moses, Aaron, Joshua, it really seemed like their God was on their side, because they were conquering all these obstacles, and they were, conquering all these people, all these armies, and they were gaining power and strength, and they were multiplying. And that was how they were able to establish this vast dynasty down there in the Middle East. A dynasty that David had ruled over that was so vast. And then you see where the other prophets started to come in, and their version of messages from God for the children of Israel was pure death and destruction. And that did happen. They preached all this death and destruction, and the children of Israel were eventually destroyed, scattered about, slaughtered, you name it. And this was all from the preachings of their prophets, who claimed, by the way, that God had told them. So I'm going to understand it as to why their God would say these are the people who are going to rule the earth and lead and multiply and have wealth, and at the same time he's breaking them down and reducing their numbers to just a little bit of remnants, and having them be taken and just utterly annihilated. And all of this came from words from the prophets. So you see why I'm in a state of confusion? Because the math ain't mathing. No. And it is because of these observations why I say that those prophets were working with the heathen, with the enemy, with the Gentiles. They were working with the people who were round about Jerusalem, namely the Assyrians, the Arabians, the Libyans, the Egyptians. All of them are round about who were upset. Remember, the Bible talks about how the people around were upset that the Jewish people had extended their rule and authority and power in the region, and the people around were not happy. They did not like that. They didn't like it. So their objectives was to get rid of the Jewish people. And I believe, and I'm going to say this is what I believe. I believe that the rulers round about Israel were successful at convincing these prophets that if they preached death and destruction for the Jewish people, that they would eventually be able to succeed at destroying them. So I believe the Jewish people were destroyed at the hands of the enemy through the acts of their prophets. Their prophets sold them out to the enemies. Their prophets were cutting deals with the enemies. And that's how the original Israel was destroyed. If you think I am wrong for coming to that conclusion, well, we can talk. But that is my conclusion as to why the Israelites were able to build such a vast dynasty and then turn around and lose it all. So much so that even now, thousands of years later, we are still dealing with the remnants of those behaviors by those prophets back then, because their actions caused the Israelites, the Jewish people, to lose their land, their prominence, their authority, and their power in the region. And now, in our modern day society, they are still fighting to regain that wealth and power and authority and the land that their God, they claim that their God had given to them thousands and thousands of years ago. So the struggle is going to continue. The struggle is going to continue because the fight is not going to end, because the people who had later gotten control of that land that the Jewish people claim was given to them by their God, those people are not going to give it up. They are not going to let go of it. And so I believe the fight is going to continue, because the Jews are going off the historical fact that that was their land. That was the land of their foreparents. And modern day people are going off the modern fact that the Arabs have been in control of that area for years. So the conflict isn't going to end. You notice nobody is fighting Egypt, right? Nobody is fighting Egypt for their territory, because way back then, when Egypt was land grabbing and establishing their borders, they did not have the problems that the Israelites had. They didn't have any prophets coming and telling them that God say he's going to scatter them round about. Now, do you understand why the children of Israel were so upset with Jeremiah? Because it seems as though everybody in the region, all the people except the people who were supposed to be God's chosen people, who were promised all of this wealth and authority and power. Everybody else seemed to be prospering by work, even though they were worshiping a God made out of wood or made out of stone. So that's what brought about the frustration of the Jewish people. That's why them tell Jeremiah they don't want to hear anything. Leave them alone. Let them continue to worship the God, the Queen of Heaven, and bake cakes for her and do all those things. Because when they do that, they don't have as much destruction as they have when they are serving their God. And that's not, that would be something weird for humans to think. Because if I am taking care of you and you claim to be taking care of me, but every day you give me food that hurt my belly, you give me food that seems like poison, how is it that you are taking care of me? You're not taking care of me. You are really destroying me, but continue to tell me that you are taking care of me. So this is what was going on with the Jewish people, and that is why they continued to turn their backs. That is why they continued to reject the teachings of their forefathers, because they were saying it's not doing anything for them. Look at the people around them. The people around them are not worshiping their God. The people around them are worshiping their own gods that they make out of stone and make out of wood and make out of whatever. And they are prospering. And we are supposedly worshiping the God who makes heaven and earth, the God of heaven, the God who makes water, the God who makes this and that, and all these things. And yet, we are the ones being destroyed. And that, my friends, I believe, was a fair argument by the little remnant of the Jewish people that were left. Okay? So that is where we are going to end the reading for this morning. When we come back tomorrow, we will continue with the reading of the book of Ezekiel. Okay? I want to say thanks to everybody who came in. Okay, tomorrow we will 12 and 13. I want to say thanks to everybody who already said it's a very long time. That's exactly. It's a long time they are suffering. It's a long time, and I don't know what this suffering is for. Like it just does not seem fair. It doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem plausible to me. It don't seem plausible to me at all. Cause I don't know what would this suffering for? If I'm serving you, I'm serving you. But it seems that there is more suffering than serving. Because all I'm getting is insults. See, so much so that in chapter 4 he said, bake the cakes, use the doo-doo. I think they were using the doo-doo as the fire, and let them eat their defilements. Like, that is like an insult. And that's why the people continuously went astray. I'm like, I'm not serving this. I'm not. No. Like, it's just insult after insult and destruction after destruction. There was no encouragement for them to continue to serve, to continue to serve their God as their forefathers had done. There wasn't any incentive. And that's why the people rebelled. And then it seems as though each time they rebelled, because there wasn't any incentive for serving, then they got punished some more. But their punishment, word of their punishment always comes from their prophets. So that's why I said the prophet them was working with the enemies to destroy the Jewish people. That's how I see it. You can't love me this minute and hate me the next. Exactly, Aurelie. And the hate is not like, I'm chastising you because you did X, Y, Z. It's like, I'm punishing you. I'm annihilating you. I'm getting rid of you. I'm causing you the worst of famine, the worst of pestilence, the worst. Why? While the other people around are not being treated like this, even though they are supposedly worshiping a God they made out of stone. So it is very conflicting. Where is the love? Where is the love? Where's the compassion? Where's the grace? Where's the peace? And why all of this anger from this God is being thrusted upon us? We don't see the people around us who are supposedly our enemy living like this. They are not being destroyed. In fact, they are flourishing. They are growing. They are expanding. And look at us. We are serving the God of heaven, the God who made heaven and earth. And look at us. All we get is destruction. No wonder the people did not want to continue. It is perfectly understood from a human's point of view. But that's where we are going to end the reading for this morning, guys. I want to say thanks to everybody who came into the live. Those who participated, I sincerely appreciate you. If you came in, then hit the like button, guys. Don't forget, hit it on your way out. Okay? And we are going to come back tomorrow morning, and when we do, we'll be reading from the book of Ezekiel, chapters 13 and 14. Sister Aurelie, Sister Winsome, Sister Fly Girl Georgia, and Brother Overton were in the chat, and I'm sure there were others in the chat who did not say a word. I sincerely appreciate you all. Now go your ways today, my friends, and have yourself the best Tuesday ever. Don't let Jeremiah or Ezekiel break your spirit. All right? That's where we are going to end for today, my friends. Until next time, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters. Have yourselves a great day, guys. Have a good one, Sister Aurelie.